everyone, it's April here, bringing you another episode of Rescue and Recreate, the series where I take a TLC doll and basically turn her into a brand new one. For this week's episode, the theme is Audrey Hepburn. So on the wheel we have 6 different characters that Audrey Hepburn played, and I will be recreating one of them here today. Several Audrey Hepburn movies are like comfort movies for me. I really enjoy them, and I've watched certain ones countless times. I've been wanting to make an Audrey doll for a while, but I wasn't exactly sure which character I wanted to make, so I'm going to let the wheel decide for me. So let's spin this wheel. And the answer is Sabrina. Yay, this is an exciting one. Sabrina was one of my favorites to watch when I was younger, and the first look that comes to mind is, of course, the tennis court dress. But to be perfectly honest, I might be biting off more than I can chew here. This dress has a lot of embroidery, which is something that I have never done before. But what the heck, let's try it. Based on Audrey's face shape, I'm thinking a classic mold will do just fine. Audrey's eye color was officially recorded as brown, although in most pics I found, they appear more like a bluish gray. So I found this TLC Molly, and since she already has gray eyes, I thought that would work perfectly. And as you can see, her wig is not in good condition, and she does have a lot of face paint missing already. Her limbs aren't overly loose, but I'm going to go ahead and restring them to be on the safe side. I'm going to give her a good cleaning as well, and then we will get started on her face. Her face vinyl is really soft, and when I try to use the watercolor pencils, they weren't showing up very well. So what I'm going to do is add a very thin layer of Mr. Super Clear Clear Coat to hopefully give the paint something to stick to. And I'm happy to report that did work. You can now see the watercolor pencil whenever you add it to her face. Since Audrey's eyebrows are a little bit different of a shape than what I normally draw, I decided to print out a picture of her eyebrow and turn it into a stencil. So I have that taped into place to hopefully give me a nice even brow on both sides. Once again, I'm not sure if I want to add lashes or not, so I'm going to move on to the face color. For Audrey's face makeup, I'm basing the colors off other pictures I have found of her in color, and I guess a little bit off of how I imagine she would have looked in color in this movie. For her face color, I'm going to use a very light pink watercolor pencil to add pink blush to the cheeks, and I'm also going to add a little bit to either side of the bridge of the nose in hopes that it will make the nose appear more slender. I did decide that since lashes were such a big part of Audrey's look, that I do want to add them, so I'm going to add them on both the top and bottom. And apparently Audrey's makeup artist would separate her lashes after applying mascara by using a sewing needle, making her lashes look more full. Now the only thing left is the lips. Classic mold lips have been my arch nemesis so far. They are a lot thinner than the Josefina mold lips, and they seem more difficult to get even in my opinion. It took a couple attempts, but I'm fairly happy with them now. So with her lips painted, I'm going to add some detail lines, then her face will be ready to seal after adding the masking tape eye protection. For her wig, I purchased this one from B Beauty Designs, and let me just say, it is gorgeous, but I might need to trim it some. I'm going to get it in place and styled before I decide. And speaking of wigs, would you like a chance to win this brand new B Beauty Design wig, along with some other cool stuff that I will be giving away when I reach 1,000 subscribers? If so, please subscribe to my channel and fill out the entry form in the description below. With the wig glued into place and styled, I have decided to give the bangs a bit of a trim because as you can see here, Audrey's bangs are quite high on her forehead, so I'm going to shorten them a little bit. Audrey's ears are pierced, so I will need to pierce her ears as well. I will be doing this using a drill bit. For the earrings, I'm using American Girl Doll stud earrings with the added dangling jewels, and I'm using the same jewels that I used on the Elena doll from the first episode of Rescue and Recreate. With all of that done, it is time for the scary part, the dress. My first step is to create my own pattern for this dress, and to do that, I'm essentially making a paper towel dress. From this, I'm going to make a practice dress to make sure of the fit before I hand embroider the fabric for the real dress. After making my practice dress, there are a few adjustments that I want to make, especially to the waistline and the top of the bodice as well. So I'm going to make those adjustments on my paper towel pattern pieces, and since it shouldn't really affect the overall fit, I think I'm ready to move on to using the actual fabric. Before I could get my list together for Hobby Lobby, I was walking through the fabric section at Walmart and found this. I'm not exactly sure what this fabric is called, but I do know it's made of polyester, and it came as like a tuba fabric, which is the first time I've seen something like this, but I liked it and thought it would be perfect for the poofy skirt. Walmart also conveniently had this white sheer fabric as well, and I think this will work great for the overskirt. So now that I have my fabric, I'm ready to cut the pieces that I need. For the embroidery, I ordered these printable embroidery sheets that dissolve when washed, and I also got some embroidery needles and floss. For the pattern, I got lucky when Googling and found this one that's an exact match for the Sabrina dress. So I printed out this pattern on the dissolvable sheets. I cut off the excess and pinned the pattern in place under my fabric. The embroidery pattern is very complex, so I simplified it a lot so that it would better fit my beginner skill level. And after 7 days of embroidering every chance that I got, I was finally finished. Well, with the embroidery part. I still have to sew it all together. For the black trim on the bottom of the skirt, I will be using this thick ribbon. I will gather it by hand and pin it in place before sewing. For the gloves, I used an American Girl Doll glove and traced it to make the pattern I would need. I am going to interrupt for just a minute to discuss the next episode of Rescue and Recreate. The theme will be Netflix series. So if there's any character you can think of that's in a Netflix series that you would like to see turned into an American Girl Doll, be sure to let me know in the comments below. Since the main scenes in the movie where you see the dress on display are at a tennis court, I decided to bring my Sabrina to one as well. So here she is before and after, and here she is next to Sabrina, played by Audrey Hepburn. Are you excited for the next episode? Be sure to let me know by hitting the like button below. And if you liked that video and would like to see more like it, please be sure to subscribe to my channel, and I hope you have an adorable day.